Welcome to the show. We'll answer the age-old question: how much wood could a Tkachuk would? Yes, Matthew Tkachuk is on the show. Excited about him. Did we find out when he'll be back on the ice? We certainly did. How competitive? I gotta say, everyone made it out to be this Matthew Tkachuk. He's a bit of an agitator. He's a bit of a pest. He was lovely, a delight. I'm rooting for the kid. Excited about him. The entire Tkachuk family. We also are going to have Elijah Arroyo on the program, getting to know these draft prospects like only we can. And did we reel in a big fish to kick off our draft coverage? We did. We'll be back after this. Actually, no, the show's starting right now. Don't go anywhere. All right, I think we all know where Cam Ward is going in the draft. I think he's going number one. Shh, the NFL's like, shut up, Kay. Make some drama. I mean, he's literally telling people on Twitch that he loves the receiving corps of the Titans. We have on the show his go-to guy, Elijah Arroyo, tight end, of course. We'll see where he's going. We'll see if we can ask him a little bit about Cam Ward. Elijah, very fascinating. I know he met with the Broncos. And let's bring in my go-to guy here, Matthew Hamilton, the Elijah Arroyo. To the entire operation, my parlay, a woof heard around the world.
Yeah, it was. It felt really good about it at halftime. Everybody was on track, and then the second half, it was close. It was close, but ultimately,
the Warriors make it through. I need you to drink coffee or something. Get a Celsius, get on my level. I've been shot out of a can. I took 2 Excedrin when I woke up this morning. Woo! We are excited to talk to Matthew Tkachuk. We are a hockey show. Of course, I'm looking at the score, 121 to 115. I fell asleep, I think, well before halftime of this game. I was in bed at 7 p.m. last night. And they advanced. They needed me. Poge needed me at the game. Of course.
Yeah,
so that's
really what it came down to.
We're done with Poach. We're done with Poach. We're done with Poach, unless I'm there and unless he wants to come on the show. Would love to have him. But congrats, obviously Golden State, Curry survives, everyone survives. It'll be fun to go. And did you guys win? Did anybody win on the 50% PBT? Rub it in. Don't be one of these humble draft prospects that are rub it in this morning. Somebody be in my, get in my face. Let's put this little thing out on Twitter right now. I want to hear from you. Did you cash in on a 50% profit boost token for the NBA tournament play-in on the world's number one sportsbook, FanDuel? I want to see it. I don't believe you. I want to see it. I want to take a victory lap for you. I got a bottle of Dom back here I might break open for you if you send me some tweets during the show. We have a lot to get to. The draft is... What is today? The draft is 8 days away.
Yeah, 8 days. We're going to be on our way a week from today. We will be on our way to Green Bay.
Yeah, I told you yesterday we had a meeting about it, an impromptu meeting. Sorry, our boss was not invited to this. He had other important things to do. We had an impromptu meeting. I need an accordion. I know you think Chester would play the accordion. It's actually very strange that Chester doesn't play the accordion. My brother-in-law, Derek, plays the accordion. He lives in nearby Appleton. Just saying. And maybe
you know who else we found out plays the accordion yesterday? Tom Izzo. And we know he grew up a Packers fan. Is he going to be out there for the draft? Maybe we can make something happen there. Don't
even go down this road if you're not willing to see that through. Do not. If you're not, I'm mad at you. You and Poge are swimming in the same river. I would if Izzo came and played the accordion. Do I deserve it? No. But do I want it? Will I take it? Absolutely. That would bring the house down. Elijah Arroyo on the show. Excited about that. We're going to the Stanley Cup champion, Matthew Tkachuk. He'll be back for the playoffs. He told me so. We have lots with him. We'll get a little NFL action. He was a joy. He was a true delight. Like I said, play-in game. We know what happened there. FanDuel Sportsbook, by the way, they just dropped the playoff odds. So while you're sending me your screenshots of your bet slips from that 50% profit boost token, take a look at this. They dropped the playoff odds for every single NFL team for the first time this offseason. This is interesting. We like to use those algorithms to sort of make connections to what's going on in the world here. Not a surprise to see these 5 teams, right? But the order's interessante. The Bills getting the shortest odds at -650. The state of the rest of the AFC East plays into that number for sure. Ravens -520, even though, tough AFC North vibe there. The Eagles -430. The Chiefs, they're fourth at minus 400. Oh, okay. That makes sense, seeing as how they made it to the playoffs 10 years in a freaking row and made it to at least the AFC Championship game every year Mahomes has been there. But okay, let's keep poking that bear. That sounds good. And now he's like lost his dad bod. What does that even mean? Look, people need to get a grip. And then there's a pretty decent dip, guys. Look at this. The Lions at minus 235 after losing both coordinators. That one I kind of understand. As the NFC North hopefully gets tougher, and as we are sleeping on, as I talked about at great length, those Packers. Now, if you look at the other end of the spectrum, this is where I like it. Let's take a look at the longest odds to get in. Let's go, baby. This will move, but right now the Giants, the biggest long shot to get in at plus 820. Then it's the Browns, the Jets, the Titans, Saints. Let me say this to you. The Commanders, they were on this graphic at this point a year ago. I remember it. Okay, the Texans, they were the biggest long shot at this point back in 2023, ahead of that incredible draft swing by Nick Caserio and co. Things can turn around. Life moves pretty fast, as philosopher Ferris Bueller once said, you know? So now is the time to get in if you are a believer in one of these squads. Who do you believe in the most? Let me know. At Up and Adams Show, at Hey K Adams. Beyond that, I just think that this is a time for optimism. I was explaining to someone, Hamilton, earlier, Karina, who you know, she was over at the house this morning, and she was like, "What's the draft? What?" And I got to explain it. It was fun. It was fun for me to explain like the optimism of the moment, the Cam Ward walking across the stage, followed by Elijah Arroyo, them finding out where they're going to play. It's such a beautiful celebratory everything. It's the best part of the year, truly. That and free agency, when everybody, you know, there's like a ruthlessness to free agency. And I know that there can be some negativity to the draft, but even in like you think of the worst things that have happened in the draft, like it kind of works out how it's supposed to. I'm talking about those stupid moments that permeate draft day, those rumors, like a Tunsil. Yeah. Look at Tunsil now. Okay, great. Yeah. What a story. You look at, you know, even like a Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers slide, you can make whatever you want of that. Those narratives is like little, like nitpicky or like bigger things. Aaron Rodgers slide, like, okay, kind of worked out, right? Maybe it didn't. Maybe you could have gone somewhere and won 5 rings. I get that. But like even the lore of it that might seem to skew negative, like it all ends up kind of Disney at the end, in my opinion. That's how I
it really does, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's true. You really look at how these guys' careers have played out. Like most of those, like you mentioned, the Aaron Rodgers slide, most of those things tend to work out for the best for most people. And as you said, like it is such an exciting time for all 32 fan bases. It's the one time a year, like everybody can kind of be celebratory and excited and enjoy the moment a little bit.
And you never freaking know what happened. Like you wake up draft morning and you're like, what's it going to be today? What the actual F? And we'll be in Green Bay for that, eating some Kringle. From, I forget the place that I like the Kringle from. Tom's, I think it's called. I want that Kringle. I need that Kringle. Anyway, there's other couple things we put up those playoff odds. Some things that kind of jumped out to me. The Cowboys, they're 25th if you look at FanDuel. They're 25th at plus 210. They're sandwiched right between, I believe, the Patriots and the Cowboys. Can we see that again? I think the Vikings are on there. I have it in front of me, but I don't see it on the old television. Can I see that full screen again? The odds, longest odds. Maybe it's not on there though. Plus 130. Yeah, there we go. Vikings plus 130 to make the playoffs after a 14-win season a year ago. Okay, I know JJ McCarthy's an unknown, but you know, I gotta tell you, I met this kid. I was eating out of the palm of his freaking hand, people. He's got Justin Jefferson, loaded receiving core. Everybody loves him. I love him. He's got a defense around him that's already been upgraded that still has like Harrison there. We haven't even gotten through the draft yet. I know the NFC North, I guess it's seen as a gauntlet. I think it'll be less of a gauntlet than it's been usually. 8.5 wins is so messed up. That is, I mean, what? I'm investing there. I'm dabbling responsibly on FanDuel Sportsbook when it comes to the Vikings. I mean, just like listen to JJ. Listen to JJ. You're just a winner. Yeah. That's what when I say. I mean, obviously your track record shows that too. Do I like that I got double mammed Of course not. Is that why Hamilton put that in there? Probably. But it's just the essence. It's everyone fell in love with that answer too. No further explanation needed. He's won championships, plural, at every level. He is a winner, and he's going to bring that same energy to Minnesota this fall. Like, this is a team that said we like him so much that we are not even, like, the Aaron Rodgers thing is not happening. It's not happening. Aaron Rodgers, who, like, I still question that. I certainly questioned it, I will say, a lot more before I met the legend that is the winner, that is JJ McCarthy. As for this draft, we are hearing the name more and more, Jackson Dart. I mean, a football name. It's a football name, okay? A football guy. It has come up a lot in the past days. I thought we need to I need to give what I think about him a little bit, okay? There are reports from The Athletic he might go ahead of Shador as QB2 in this class. He's now jumped to minus 370 on FanDuel Sportsbook to be a first-round pick. We still don't know how it'll all shake out, but there's so much to like about Jackson's game. Let's take a look here. Look at the numbers, his past season. So, and yeah, put the context on here too. He played against SEC defenses every week, and he still led the country in total yards and yards per attempt through the air. He broke Eli Manning's school record for passing yards and career wins. He passes guys like Peyton Manning and Dak Prescott. He moves into fourth in SEC history. Do you understand the lore that comes with that when it comes to total yards? Unbelievable. The resume is almost like all you need, right? It's impeccable. And outside of the numbers, when you watch him, he's accurate. He throws a truly gorgeous, like a 10. He throws a 10 deep ball. He can run, which everybody's talking about and loves about his game, the added sprinkle of that. He can do everything that you need a quarterback to do in 2025. And he did it at the highest level against the highest competition. And while the biggest, question mark hovering seems to be about the scheme at Ole Miss, and him not having to go through full progressions, like, say what you want. Like, have we not heard that about, like, I'm so sick of this. Have we not heard that about plenty of quarterback prospects in the past? And it's really, like, not indicative of anything. Just because you haven't been asked to do certain things doesn't mean you cannot. And by the way, we've seen examples of him getting forced off of his first read, and then he's able to make something happen. Like, when that exists and there's no correlation about the scheme and the NFL and what they can, like, then what is this argument? It is the most nitpicky. It kind of pisses me off a little bit, to be honest. So whether it is my New Orleans Saints or the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Giants or the Browns trading back up into the first round, someone's going to give Jackson Dart a shot. I think it'll be perfect where he ends up. I think we should be talking about him a little more, Matthew. And what I can say, I've met Shador. I have not yet met Cam Ward. I worked with Jackson Dart on a Dick's Sporting Goods commercial at 3 a.m. And he was there, and he was awesome. And he was so chill and so professional. And it's not like the easiest. He was amazing. And I loved him. We chopped it up, and we talked ball and all those things. I liked how professional he was, how he handled himself. I think Lane Kiffin's got him ready to go. And I just don't like the scheme thing. I think that's lame.
Yeah, and I think part of that is still that old way of thinking, and not, obviously you want your quarterback to be able to go through progressions and learn that and improve on that once he gets in the league, but it's not a requirement for success anymore. We just saw a quarterback win a Super Bowl with an offense that was based primarily around RPO passing game and throwing the deep ball, and those are the two things Jackson Dart really excels at and is incredible with. So again, I'm not saying that to knock to Jalen Hurts. Like, the Eagles built that offense into his strengths and won a Super Bowl doing it. Why can't Jackson Dart also be successful doing those things?
He's a first rounder, in my opinion. I think he'll be at the draft. I hope he'll be at the draft. I would love to see Jackson Dart at the draft, wishing him and his family just the best week on the journey, of course. And it's like, I'm not saying that I'm the best interviewer in the world, but there was a time where I wasn't given interviews or told I could, like, I wasn't thought of to do interviews. And I would, like, beg to do them. And it was just something like, no, you don't do that. Like, you host, you whatever. And it's like, just because I don't do it doesn't mean I can't do it. And then you get the opportunity to do it, and then you kind of can. Or it's like, oh, can Kay do a serious interview? Like, yeah, bet, watch me. Like, I just don't need to do that every day, but you can still, like just because you don't do it in your everyday doesn't mean that given the opportunity, you can't and then can't knock it out the park. So Jackson's going to do, I know the same on the NFL level. Such an exciting time. We've got 8 days until launch. We've got, some people told me I couldn't talk hockey. And here we go with Florida Panther Stanley Cup winner. Darius Butler would be so proud of me right now. Matthew Tkachuk on the show after this. Yeah, exciting.
Very, very proud for how that hockey interview went. You really crushed it.
You mean how it's gonna go since it hasn't been?
I mean how it's gonna go. Yeah.
I saw he talked to Bleacher Report and said, or somebody talked to Bleacher Report. What happened here? We get jumped on our week 1 debut.
I missed that, the game 1.
Let's look. Let's see what they said. Can you see? What I'll say is this: everyone on the call when we were prepping for this, meaning cramming for the final, about Matthew Tkachuk, we had the opportunity to interview him, and the entire staff was like, "Yeah!" So excited. So of course we're like, "Yeah, of course, let's do it." And everyone made him out to be like an agitator, which and everyone was like, "You'll like him because he's an agitator," and he's like, And I was like mentally or like physically? And everyone said both. So basically, like he was a bit of a jerk in my head when I was going to sit down with him, and he could not have been more of a gem. Like you'll see in this interview, you'll see the BTS here is like, you'll see me trying to get him to talk shit. Like I try to get him like, watch this guys. He's going to talk shit about his brother Brady. And then he's like, love Brady. Oh, like him and Bradley Marchand literally kicked the shit out of each other in this Canada, US Cold War, whatever thing, 4 nations madness, right? 4 seconds in, 7 seconds. Like that was them, right? Brad and Matthew. Oh, yes. No, it was, right? They're part of it.
Matthew was like the instigator to the whole thing, and that's the way he is on the ice. So yeah.
So I'm like, now he's on his team. These two are gonna, and then he's like, no, I sent him an edible arrangement gift basket. When he got to the team, I'm the one who threw the pizza party. Like we went to Little Caesars and used all my tokens together on the, what are you talking? He was like a little, my take is he's fake. He is a sweetie pie. Matthew Tkachuk is a sweetie pie was my takeaway.
It makes it all the more impressive what he's able to do on the ice, because he's just able to flip that switch and become that guy as soon as he steps on the ice.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that guy. Not that I don't love a sweetie pie, but I think you and I both know. I prefer I want to.
You love an agitator.
I just love.
You aspire to be.
I think it's important. I think everybody wants that kind of a guy on their squad. Oh shoot! Television. Okay, big up and Adams first. Earlier this week, we got to sit down with Florida Panthers superstar, Stanley Cup champion, Matthew Tkachuk. He was talking to me about Great Clips haircuts. You're going to want to hear this. You could literally go to the Stanley Cup final, listen to what he has to say. We talked about Rat Kings and other rats and when he's going to be back on the ice. Matthew, worst botch job of your last name ever. Go.
Oh gosh, people have called it like ketchup before. They've quit and just said ketchup.
Ketchup, like at the bank, at the whatever, people who aren't like hockey fans, right? Like I can't even imagine.
Or just giving up on themselves and just making fun. But that's the worst I've heard.
I'm so happy to meet you. You have no idea. I'm not the biggest hockey savant, but I love learning, right? So I've learned a lot in the past 24 hours. You have high scoring ability. You're very physical. You are smart, IQ, great hands. How come everyone I text that I'm interviewing you responds to, you're going to love what a personality he is on the ice? Why do you think they respond with that?
Oh, well, thank you. You've got good friends. I don't know. I've just always tried to be myself. And I think that my personality kind of tends to mix in with my style of play as well. So I like to play a very upbeat, intense, emotional physical, but like with grace and try to make good plays and try
Oh,
to provide.
Grace was not what I thought. No, you were like the guy everyone wants on their team, Matthew. Everybody wants a you on their squad. What do I need to know about the Rat King? Is that a thing? What do I need to know about that?
That is not me coming up with at all, but I think it's kind of funny.
But what is that?
We have a bigger rat on my team in Marshawn now, so he could take over that title.
Yeah, can you have two rats on one team? I've learned all about this. Was like the Bravo part of this chapter, which I really quite enjoyed. Can you have two rats on the squad?
I think what made our team successful last year is we had about 15 rats on the team. So I think that it's good and okay to have more than one.
Who texted who first? Because you guys had this whole brouhaha that happened. We haven't seen you on the ice, of course, since we'll get there. But is there still a Cold War with Canada between you and this guy? Or like, who texted who first?
No, I mean, I texted him first when he first got traded out to let him know that we were super excited to have him, and let's go finish the job this year. So I think once something like that, the competitiveness is obviously in everybody.
Yeah.
But once you become on the same team, it's an instant connection, and you have to if you want to win.
I got to tell you, you are a great, as you know, but it's insane what you have done. 203 games from 2022 to 2024 is like diabolical. It's insane. Your toughness off the chart. 203 games is crazy. Your boy Jason Tatum's taken, load management. Like people are like, we don't want to extend the NFL to 18 games. Like we won't do that. 203 games is crazy. Can you describe or try to put into words for me how badly you want to get back out there?
Yeah, it's been crushing me the last little bit. I've been wanting to get out there so bad. I think the first couple of games after that Four Nations, it was, you really want to be out there, but it's probably good, to try to get some rest and get recovered and everything. But for the last month and a little bit, I've just been itching so badly. So I can't wait to get back out whenever that day is. Hopefully very, very soon. So I'm excited
Matthew,
to get there.
When are we going to see you out there? When are you coming back?
I think I get in trouble if I said. I will say it's been very good last probably few days on the ice. I really only been on the ice for a couple like days with like legit skates. So I'm just trying to peak come sometime around game 1. So looking forward to it.
Let's go. I love that. 2 rats, 1 healthy rat who's already a champion. I love this for you. You're one of 5 dudes to have 2 seasons of 40 goals and 60 assists since 2021. Like you are in your bag right now. Like you obviously you got their loss, got their won, all this. You said that I feel like you're taking some positivity out of what had to just be such a buzzkill with this injury. What is the good? Like, what have you learned or taken away in this time spent away?
It's really hard to find good in anything with this, because I mean, personally, I felt I was playing the best hockey of my career, even before the tournament and then starting the tournament. I was just feeling good. Like there's no other way to put it. So, I don't know the good. Maybe just it gives me some time to really reset not only what I injured, but the rest of my body for hopefully another long playoff run. That's the way you got to look at it.
Yeah, and you'll be refreshed. I think that's probably good, right? You're gonna be shot out of a freaking cannon. You haven't played since February.
Yeah, mentally, I am. It will not take me very long, and it will not be very tough for me to get right back into it.
Look at that face. So. I can't freaking wait. Now I'm a huge fan, so I'm going to be watching. I have really high expectations for you, just so we're clear.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. So I can't let those down.
Don't let me down. You played with and against your brother Brady. There's a chance here, I hear. There's a little something special. Both of these teams qualify, right? They can go to the postseason for the first time. You could be facing him. What will that look like? How will that go?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's looking like we're both going to have to win. I think it's guaranteed now that we're both not playing each other first round, but if we both win, we'll meet in the second round. So I guess we just got to both take care of our own business and make that happen. I think that'd be really cool for not only myself and Brady, but our whole family, to see like their boys and, brother and whatever, just like go out there and compete for their dream. But I will say it was way more fun playing with him than it is against him. So I'm not necessarily looking forward to going up against him in playoffs. Wow. He's a beast. He will be probably the toughest guy in the league to play against in a playoff series. It would not be fun.
This is a departure from what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to take this opportunity to absolutely eviscerate him. I saw this documentary, you guys were playing putt-putt and you weren't letting him win at all. Like, I'm very surprised at this line of answer.
I've seen what he's been able to do, like playing with him in the big stage games, going back to the Four Nations. And it's a different beast. So I'm definitely not going to poke the bear before if there's any chance we play him.
Have you ever given him a haircut?
I haven't, but when we were younger, I said that it's probably time. I think it would be cool for both of us to shave our heads in the summer. It was getting hot. And if there's any time to do it, it's now. So he's like, okay, I'm in. So he goes first, does it. And then I kind of was soft and backed out. And he was we actually just talked about this the other day, but he was so mad and still is.
Well, you guys could go do that again and like relive the beautiful or maybe sad, depressing memory trauma for him at Great Clips. You have an amazing partnership with them, the official hair salon of the NHL. Tell me what you teamed up with them to do.
Yeah, so this is this is not my first time teaming up with them around this time of year, and we are teaming up and bringing the all new meeting to playoff hockey and checking. And fans can enter the Great Clips app and enter the check-in to win sweepstakes through May 19th. And I would do that as quick as you can, and hopefully you can earn yourself a trip and tickets to the Stanley Cup Final. And then if you don't, you can still win gift cards or stuff from the NHL shop. So I think it's such a great partnership. I've loved working with them for multiple years now. And if you need help with signing in or entering or need the Great Clips app, just visit greatclips.com and / Great Clips app. So should be easy. I'm looking forward to getting my haircut before playoffs. I've always liked to rock a little bit of a different hairstyle. And they give great cuts. So
ooh, I can't wait to see what it is. So it's starting April 16th, guys, go. He's telling you go, go, go now. We're turning checking into a positive for hockey fans. You can check in on the Great Clips app and you can enter. And this is not just a trip. You get like airfare, hotel accommodations. I hear Matthew's going to like wine and dine you too. That's part of the deal. No,
I hope I'm in it. I hope that could be a possibility. I hope I'm in it. That would be. I
mentioned Jason Tatum quickly. What would he look like on the ice? Like, what kind of a hockey player? Paint me the picture of Jason Tatum playing hockey.
I think he would be, with his size and length, a defenseman would be probably perfect for him. I just worry about him skating because I don't think he's skated much in his life. So I think it would be tough for him to get up to speed. But once he figures that out, his size and reach and just power, he would be tough to play. Those are the hardest defensemen to play against. So I think he would
survive each other's sport longer.
I would say, oh gosh, that's so tough. Probably. Oh man,
ask the tough questions. It's not just haircuts and groin injuries, buddy.
I used to play basketball. I don't think he's ever played hockey. I'm not tiny.
You've never gotten him to play hockey. What kind of friends were you?
We've played hockey in like gym class, like on not royal, like street hockey, but we've never gone out there and skated. I couldn't survive 3 seconds in NBA, but I probably could survive 1. That'll be my answer. I think he would have a tough time.
I know you're very busy and you are great, as Great Clips is, and I'm excited for this partnership that you're clearly passionate about. I asked for the NFL comp for you, and I was told all across the board that you're like the player you want. You don't like to face, but you want. It's like the biggest compliment ever. You're like the tone setter out there. I'm getting like CJGJ. I'm getting a little Josh Allen as far as like toughness. But I'm getting Baker Mayfield. What do you make of a Baker Mayfield comp? Or do you have a different comp you'd like to say that you are in the NFL?
Oh, that's a great compliment. I love watching Baker play football. He's nails. He's so tough and he's very talented. So that's a great comparison. But I will say, when I was going through my draft, however many years ago, 9 years ago, my player comp was Gronk, which I thought that was one I liked.
We should have led with that. Like, my player comp is Gronk. I love that. Well, you got what, 3? You have 1. You got 3 more, and Gronk's lost 1 too to the Eagle. You got 3 more to get. You have 3 more rings, and then we can talk Gronk.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, and it starts game 1. He said he's looking to peak to be back by then. We know he's going to have a fresh great clips. Haircut before that happens. He seems happy. Like I told you, he's a sweetie pie. And do you know what this was the most off-putting part of that entire interview, Matt? You know, from 2 rats to 2 migraines you and I hear this morning. He said, when he said, gosh, I was like, what is going on? Like, gosh darn it, this fudging. Like, I was like, not that I was expecting him to swear, but you have to admit that y'all built him up to be some non-sweetie guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for you to watch him play in these playoffs, and you can see that come out of him because it is there. It is there big time. And him and
He
Marcia
said grace. He plays with
very
grace.
excited to see that. Yeah.
And passion and emotion. He made it sound like, you know, he's Captain America.
I mean, there's passion and emotion, that's for sure. But yeah.
But I liked at the end that he goes, no, I'm Gronk. And I was like, oh, okay. I was not ready for that. And he needs 3 more Stanley Cups to do that. And he will get there. He seems to want that. So basically, they wrap up the regular season Monday. They take on the Lightning in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, guys. So get over to FanDuel Sportsbook and please give him some love. Give those Panthers and those Rats and the Rat Kings their love. Little Ratatouille's running around there. All right. We will be back after this with Elijah Arroyo. Don't go yet. Ratatouille is my favorite. I have a gentleman in my phone saved as Ratatouille. I just think it's a great. Ratatouille is great. You are a sicko. I want to show you 2 pictures. First of all, you literally helped me write the copy for this tweet about Ashton Genty and him standing upright because you guys care about this Michael Myers stuff. I don't care. I don't even find it I don't find it interesting slightly. This is a sell job by me because Matthew has his hand up my back and he's chirping, saying, here's what you're going to say. So this guy on the left, my left, whatever you want to say, this guy is Ashton Genty, and the guy on the right is Jahmyr Gibbs, because I put, it's never been done before, entering the NFL, like, and then I got crushed because everyone's like, people, like, what are you talking about? Like, literally, Nick Chubb does this, like, literally any running back under 6 feet does this. Like literally Jahmyr Gibbs is doing that. And you seem to see some sort of difference between these two that I like really those hands on his thighs are that big of a difference. You're wrong.
Crushed is a little bit of an overstatement, but yeah, like crushed. Jahmyr Gibbs has a slight bend there. He's got his hands in a ready position. Like,
there's no bend
on his side pads. His hands ready to go.
His hands might have just swung up there while he was doing this. So you don't even know. Okay. Like what are you talking about? This
Genty is in the full Michael Myers.
What does Genty do that's that different? It's the same. It's literally the same shit.
Same. It is.
How is it not the same?
If you think that those two pictures are the same,
you're at a bar saying it's not the same. Why? What is your reasoning?
I mean, if you look at those two pictures and say that that's the same thing, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You need to get your eyes checked.
It's the same sentiment. Thank you. Literally, I couldn't believe that this was the nuance that you were throwing. And then I'm like getting worked by Twitter about this.
Getting worked. You got like 4 tweets. It's all right.
Yeah.
Most of the people were agreeing with me in the comments, by the way. Yeah.
Anyway, sure. Do we have Elijah? Where's my Zoom crazy?
What'd you do?
Everyone shut up. Elijah, do you see how I'm treated on this program? May this kind of love never find you. All right, back on the Up and Adam Show. My next guest, a tight end out of the University of Miami, 2024 second team All-ACC selection, and somebody who finally somebody who matches my takes on bears. If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear. I too, Elijah, think that I could beat up a bear, outrun a bear. I don't think a bear would want this smoke, and I'm glad you feel the same way.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me on here. I'm
How are you
excited.
this morning? I think you should lead with
Doing
that when you
good.
have these meetings. You walk in the combine, Sean Payton, I can beat a bear. Let me tell you why. Tell me why you could. Tell me why we should help the bear, not you.
Hey, it's a mentality thing. That's all it is.
Okay,
But nah,
I love that.
I
Maybe,
really tweeted that because we had beat Cal. That was like right after the Cal game. So we had beat the Golden Bears.
yeah. I
Hmm.
love that. I did not know that. I just enjoyed. I famously think that bears aren't scary, and I get a lot of grief for that in my career, thinking
Really?
that I just think they're lazy. Like look at the bears, Elijah, that we know of. Winnie the Pooh, gummy bears. Like bears are cute and fuzzy, and like bears don't want none of that.
They scary though. I feel like a bear would be my spirit animal.
Okay, wait, I like that. And then you just still beat the Cowbears like you did. I love that. You lived, my friend. I'm so excited to know you. I'm so excited for your week. I can't believe this is 8, 9 days away that you get to find out where you're going. You spent some time in Mexico for 6 years growing up. You learned the game of football, American football, in Spanish. Can you give me some phrases? What are some things that your coaches used to tell you?
I mean, it's really the same thing. You go
Really?
inside zone, yeah, that's zona. Uh, a corner route is esquina. That's corner in Spanish. It's all the same thing. It's just in a different language.
Okay, love that. Let's take you back to how do you say touchdown in Spanish?
It's just
Goal?
touchdown,
Oh,
or
touchdown.
or
Well,
maybe anotación, but usually they just say touchdown.
okay, well, I want to take you to an onotacion that I need you to talk me to of the monster
All right.
variety. You, Georgia Tech, it is not every day, my friend, that I see a tight end slash bear take it from the house from 74 yards out. Talk me through this.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a switch first concept right here. Me and Cam were on the same page. I turned around, the ball basically caught me, so I didn't have a choice. Uh, Fell into my hands, and I ran with it. My first thought was, you can't get caught.
We're talking about speed and all these things. I mean, my favorite part of this is looking at the speed. Like it is unbelievable. The internet told me that you hit a top speed of 21.8 miles per hour on that play. And I think you're kind of coasting once you realize everybody gives up on chasing you. Could you go even faster than that?
I don't know, honestly. I was running for my life right there for the first 40, 50 yards.
Unbelievable speed. And it looks like everyone thought Cam was throwing the slant. And then the whole defense is like buys it and they react to it. And then Sam Brown, the receiver, looked like he expected it too. How did he fit that ball in there to you?
I don't know. He's a magician.
Okay. Tell me more. Our number one overall pick potentially and likely. Talk to me.
That's all I'm gonna say. There's really not much to be said, honestly.
What will you miss most about playing with Cam Ward?
Um, Really just how he brought the team together, honestly. Hopefully, I go into a good situation where, they have, great leaders on the team. So, it can be a similar type of situation like that. But yeah, he really just brought us all together from day
Mm.
one in. Like his talent was elite. There's no question about that.
We're going to talk a little bit more about him because he obviously will be the number one overall pick. You had a big part of that. I was talking to the GM, Mr. Borgonzi from the Titans about him, and he said he's good at everything. He's good at golf. He's good at this. Outside of football, what would you say that he'd be the number one pick in? What activity that
Outside
he'd
of
be?
football,
Yeah.
people say he's tough at basketball. I've seen him play basketball. I disagree. I disagree.
Why?
Maybe he wasn't taking it serious, but man, he thinks he's Steph Curry out there just pulling from deep. You know, man. Um, Honestly, probably anything he puts his mind to. He's a great competitor, and he wants to be the best at anything that he's doing. We could be anywhere. We were fishing one time. He was over here talking trash, because he caught more fish than me, he caught one fish.
What would you be the first round pick in outside of football? First
Ooh,
overall pick.
first overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Clearly basketball, sounds like.
I don't know, honestly. That's a great question. Uh, Maybe baseball. I think if I would have taken
Really?
baseball seriously, yeah, I could have done some damage.
Okay. Wait, I love that. And I was looking at some of your highlights this morning. Like you truly, I think you could do anything. It's a hard question to answer. I don't know that I have seen what stuck out to me, like as a tight end to get yourself so open that consistently, like every highlight, every little YouTube, everything. What is the trick? What is the trick to making the defense lose track of you?
I mean, I can't tell you all my tricks, but I'm just gonna say my trainer told me this. He said you got to get married to get divorced, so you can't be afraid of getting close to a defender to create
Okay.
separation. That's
You got to
one
get
little
close.
hint I
Okay. You
brought.
got to put
That's a nugget
your
right
heart
there
out
for
there.
you.
Wait, I love that. Sports Illustrated, your draft profile said you use deception and savvy to get open. Do you think that's accurate?
I would say so.
Yeah. It doesn't, I mean, maybe it comes easy to you, but you dealt with some adversity. I think that's what makes players better, and they go through things, and, negative or darker times like that ACL injury had to suck, right? You missed most of 2022 and 2023. You've credited that time to helping you. I love hearing that. I loved reading that, not even as a player, but also as a person. What was more difficult, the physical rehab or the mental part?
The mental for sure. I mean, I'm a tough guy. I feel like, the pain was bearable for me. It wasn't the worst pain in the world.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it's really just the mental aspect. You're in there in the rehab room for almost a year, just trying to get back to, where you were. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a long process. You're in there every day. There's some days where you kind of plateau. You feel like you're not getting better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's where you really got to be mentally strong just to keep going and stay persistent.
And then what happened? Because I think it's the perfect story. You get back on the field and you were shot out of a freaking cannon. Breakout season, once fully healthy, highs and catches, yards and touchdowns. How did that happen after that injury?
Well, really, I mean, when I had my injury, I was able to take a step back, not exactly from the game of football, but just like from being on the field. And I mean, I got to watch a lot of film, and I really understood, um, just different roles, different jobs within the offense, as well as, just learning the defense. Um, Once I really learned and tune into all of that, it kind of slowed the game down for me. That's why, I was able to play fast. I look so quick on film because you know, I just, I have certain hints on the field that kind of, uh, narrow things down for me. And it makes it easier for me to play.
Well, congrats on your career on making it through that adversity. I think that matters a lot in the NFL where there's plenty of it and the best kind of get through it and are better on the other side. And they take the time away to step back and like see things as a man, as a player. Even like when you're talking about Cam Ward, you talked about him as a leader first. You talked about the human part of it. I think that thinking that way is going to serve you really well on this level. I can't wait. I honestly can't wait to see where you're going to go. It feels like the combine was forever ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I feel like I've
Um,
been training for this forever, and it's finally here. It's wild, but now like looking back at it, it kind of feels like it went by fast.
Yeah, and you've had all of these visits, but at the combine, you met with one of my favorite teams. You met with the Broncos, and they're my favorite because they're a little nutty, they're very detailed, and they're intense. Those are my three words. I'd like
Hmm.
you to describe your visit with the Broncos at the combine in your three words.
I'm not gonna lie, I've had so many visits since that one. It's kind of a blur, but I
Hmm.
do remember talking to Coach Payton. That was pretty cool. He has a history of having success with Miami tight ends. Uh, so I remember just chopping it up with him about that. Um, but yeah, other than that, the visit went well. Uh, Everybody in the room seemed pretty cool. Obviously, it was an interview, so they're gonna try to test me, but I enjoyed it.
Did he make you shake out your backpack like he did with Bo Nix?
No, he did not.
He didn't?
Nah, he made him
Interesting.
shake out his backpack.
Yeah, he made him, and he like fell in love with him right then and there. Because he had like You know, I would have like bubble
that's
gum and
funny.
video games, but
Yeah.
he had nothing. He had all football-y stuff like tape and
Yeah.
whatever. But you guys hung out. You guys talked about Jimmy Graham. I mean, there's some Jimmy Graham to you.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Graham, Jeremy Shockey, he had both of those guys.
How much? And he talked about them. I can't imagine. Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I want to you go to the board at those meetings. I want to know how many different alignments he made you drop off from how many different places?
Can't remember. I think we probably learned about 6 different formations, probably like 2 or 3 plays.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, you can't remember because you've had what is that? What a flex by you. I can't remember. I've just had like so many NFL visits.
Oh, man.
Oh, you had 30. Man. I counted. You had 30. Browns, Texans, Giants. Yeah. And no, you hadn't had 30, but you had some. You had Browns, Texans, Giants among them. Have those happened still? Like those 3 teams? Or you still have one coming right now?
No, I just got finished with all of them.
Okay. And anything stick out from those? Browns, Texans, Giants? Or any of the other ones? If there's one that stuck out to you, what was it? Clearly not the Broncos.
I mean, I didn't even know you knew about those, honestly. I was told to, keep those confidential. So I'm not even going to say anything about it.
Got it. Okay, then maybe we could talk about your quarterback a little bit more. No, you don't want to talk about that either. Was there a tight end? You said that when you were hurt, you were like studying tape. Was there a tight end that you were looking at?
I mean, nobody specific. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of guys. I was watching all the Miami tight ends: Kellen Winslow, Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Graham, David Njoku. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of greats coming out of that came out of Miami. So just being able to watch that was pretty cool.
I interviewed Ashton Genty this week, and I know that there's like a Frisco crossover. He was in Italy, you were in Mexico, but then when's the first time that you heard the name Ashton Genty? Do you remember?
I remember we played against him my junior year of high school. He was, I think, a sophomore. Mm-hmm. He played safety, and he was their backup running back, and they were killing us. They had Marvin Mims as well at receiver. So we was just triple teaming him the first half. And I remember the 2 running backs were just going crazy. So then we had to, try to stop the run. And then Marvin Mims goes for 3 touchdowns in the second half. But they were a solid team.
Crazy. It all comes back to the Broncos. No, yeah, he was there. Ashton played some safety. You're totally right. And this is when you were at Independence High School down there in Texas. And then you got to be part of Dallas Day, right?
I don't think I went to that.
You didn't go to visit the Cowboys?
The local day? Yeah, I went to that. I'm sorry.
What is that like? What is that whole experience like? I feel like, Ashton Genty went, we talked about it. What is that day like?
I mean, it was cool. It was special just being in my hometown. It was a little 15-minute drive to get there. So that was pretty cool. I have my family down there right now. But yeah, it was a good experience. Cool coaches. The facility's nice. I would say that.
The Star?
It's huge too.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is about Frisco, but I was, when I was talking to Ashton, I was like, Boise State, all of that. And he was a 3-star recruit. I can't, and you're saying like, you remember him in that game from high school and how great he was. Like I'm trying to piece together how this guy was overlooked in that kind of way in high school.
I feel like there's so much competition in Texas. I mean, a lot of guys get overlooked, honestly, but he ended up where he was supposed to. You've seen what he's done, from there.
You mentioned your family and they're all down in Frisco. I imagine they have a rooting interest with the Cowboys, but you're going to go wherever you go, and I'm sure you'll be happy where you go. But I saw this photo of your family at your last game as a Hurricane, and I just had to show it to you in this interview. Who do you think in this beautiful family, look at that smile on your face, what do you think when you see this?
Man, I just love all of them, man.
Who do you think has the biggest reaction when you get drafted?
Biggest reaction. Probably my nana or my mom.
Really?
The two on the left to me, yeah.
Latori's your mom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then there's your Nana over there, which I love. Okay, I asked you a bunch of questions. I want to know the weirdest question you've been asked in one of your your team visits.
Weirdest question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Nah, I'll be so locked in during the interviews. I don't think I've really got any weird questions, honestly.
Okay. Well, then I love that for you. And I would have brought a bear in and had you race it. That's what I would have done if I was in charge of one of those teams. So you're very lucky about that. You have a great smile. You are an incredible athlete. I cannot wait to see how you tear up the league wherever you go. Good luck to you, Elijah Arroyo, and enjoy this journey. Like 8 days away, you finally get to find out.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. We'll talk to you down the road, of course. Good luck at the draft. We'll see where it all shakes out. And we'll be back after this on this show. Okay.
I love that. It is. I can't believe I didn't think about that. Like every time we've interviewed Coach Van, all he wants to do is talk about his former players that remind him of certain guys. So the fact that he brought up the Miami tight ends,
it is not
Jimmy
going
Graham,
to.
Jeremy Shockey.
It's not going to make if Sean ever sees that, he's not going to like that. It was not memorable.
Yeah,
that's not going to fly very well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what needs to go out from that. Oh my gosh, there's like people in my house. What's going on? I think the stuff about Cam being bad at basketball is very funny.
Yeah, that was great.
See, the negative thing is the funny thing.
Yeah.
Okay. He turned it into a negative thing, which I love. That was good.
Yeah.
What the actual?
And him talking about all those Miami tight ends he studied. Talking through that play too.
I mean, he didn't study
Just
them. He didn't say he studied
Yeah.
them. He said he doesn't. He couldn't name a tight end he studied. You're talking about.
And then
Graham?
he went and he said he started watching David Njoku and
Oh yeah, that was
those guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited to see where he goes. He's so freaking fast, man.
Yeah. That was, I see a tight end take one almost 80 yards is insane.
Yeah. Okay. What's next? Who is it about, Hammy? I forget. Ham.
What's that? Sorry, I couldn't hear your question.
Who we got today?
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking some Shemar Stewart, Texas A&M
Yes. We did
edge
these little
rusher.
profiles
Yeah.
in case we need them. Here they go.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
Shador?
Shador's he has his Giants workout tomorrow. And they're working out Milrow too.
I can't wait for the draft to be done. I just want to find out where these guys are going. Draft's 8 days away. We're going to make you smarter. Not only do we bring you the Dan Orlovskis and the Joel Klatz and the Dalen Jeremiahs, but there's also like our vantage point. What do we like about these guys? And I want to tell you one thing about Texas A&M pass rusher Shemar Stewart. One thing about him is that he might have the highest ceiling of anyone in this class, despite just 4.5 sacks in 3 years for the Aggies. Let me tell you why. He didn't just crush the combine, and he did. 4.59, 40-yard dash, 40-inch vertical. He put up the best relative athletic score in all of combine history. That's bananas. Okay, that means he didn't just test better than like any D end in this class. He tested better than every human being of the 1,801 defensive ends that have worked out in Indianapolis since 1987. Huh? What? Say what? That makes him in your lock, guys, for first round. In my opinion, in the opinion of basically everybody. But he also, it makes him the most like divisive example too of sort of this potential V production battle that we've seen over and over again in the draft process, right? Shemar had a sack and a half. He had 6 TFLs this past year. So then people are like, let's nitpick and let's downgrade him, or let's have some serious cause for concern and question about whether or not he should go in the first round. I'll say this. We had a similar conversation about Rashawn Gary in 2019. A very similar, it's reminding me of like Trayvon Walker in 2022. Chop Robinson last year. Micah Parsons, ring a bell. Remember when he came out? They had slightly better production than Shemar, all those guys. The point, though, still is, and the battle remains, almost every single first-round edge rusher with elite athletic prowess, and their profile is similar, with questionable production, especially in their last year, they've panned out. Okay. So to me, history is on Shemar's side here. And if you look at this, the questions about him are only going to benefit the team. Okay. Especially the ones at the end of the first round, as you're seeing here. We've seen him mock to every single one of these squads from 28 to 32. That's the Lions, the Commanders, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles. Very rare to get your hands on a guy with that kind of athleticism, upside, talent. We're talking skills, measurables at the end of the first round. So someone's going to take a swing. And Ham, that's one thing about Shemar Stewart. I think he's a huge value. That's what I think.
Yeah, he's got the potential to be one of the best values there, because if you can tap into all those athletic skills and, you see the aggressive mentality out there in the field, if you can channel that, the ceiling is basically limitless. He's gotten comps athletically to Myles Garrett, with everything he can do, the strength, the speed, the size, all of it.
It's a huge fight. It always is, obviously, production versus athletic profile. We get it. but this is somebody better tap into that. Do we have a television program tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we got some big ones tomorrow. We got Matthew Golden, Jihad Campbell, both projected first round picks, and we'll hear more from Shedeur Sanders.
Maybe I'll wash my hair and actually put on some jewelry. Big show tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. Big thanks to all the hockey fans watching. We'll see you tomorrow.